Well, greetings and welcome to the Sunday preview for week 8 of the story. And we are on chapter 9. Chapter 9 because our book, the story, is 30 chapters and we're doing it in 24 weeks between September and June. So we're on chapter 9, and after this weekend, we're taking a break for Advent, starting again on January 1st. So there will be the Sunday preview, and there's more to the story on Monday, but we'll take a break during Advent. We'll have the Wednesday evening services, so that will be kind of your spiritual nourishment. Sundays and then Wednesday evenings, they will be live streamed, but they'll also be put up on our website so that you can watch. So we are on chapter 9, week 8 of the story, and we look at the book of Ruth. Ruth is a story of sacrificial love and redemption, and loyalty and love are kind of shown in the faith of a foreign woman, or you might also call the book of Ruth the things we do for love. Okay, so Ruth takes place, it's important to remember last week we talked about the Judges, the dark period in the history of the people of Israel. Dark period where they kept on messing up. If you listen to There's More to the Story on Monday, you heard about the story of Samson, who was just a bad guy. That was during the period of the Judges, and there's this little redemptive story of Ruth. It's only 4 chapters, just 2 pages in your Bible. It's a very short story that takes place during the time of the Judges. Okay, so it wasn't a totally bleak time. There were positive things happening during the time of the Judges, and that happens during the time of Ruth. Naomi's family leaves, she's a person of Israel, they leave Bethlehem to go to a foreign land, and they settle in Moab, way on the other side of the tracks. That you'll hear that in the sermon on Sunday. And both her husband and her 2 sons both die. Naomi and her daughter-in-law Ruth and Oprah were all left without husbands in this foreign land. Well, Naomi hears that the famine is over. She decides to turn back to Bethlehem. She urges her daughter-in-laws from Moab, foreigners from the way on the other side of the tracks. She encourages them to stay there. Ruth is the one who says, no, I'm going to go with you no matter what. So they make their way back to the promised land, back to Bethlehem, where their only hope is just survival. They had been doing well in Moab, in the foreign land, but there's this story about Boaz. You'll hear a little bit more about that in the sermon and in your reading for today of this week, before Sunday of chapter 9. You'll read of that story of Boaz. And Boaz's love for Ruth is a mirror image of the heart of God. That's why this book is so seemingly small and insignificant. But what we start to see in these Old Testament stories is a prefiguring of what was going to be happening in the New Testament, and how God would eventually resolve our wandering ways and bring us back to God. So Boaz steps in as a redeemer and foreshadows Jesus, who will step in as the redeemer of all people. So just think as you read through chapter 9 of the losses that Naomi and Ruth faced, and how did they get through these difficult experiences. And then if you've been through difficult experiences, just kind of reflect on that, and how did they respond to difficult situations? How did you respond? And did your life change somewhat after making it through some of those difficult situations? So read the story. It's a great story. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, and until I see you again, you take care. Bye-bye.